agents, you've caught me hiding from some true sons, and they've just killed a civilian, and I don't think I can take them down alone. I need to get out of here and show you what the vendors have got to offer this week. We will start this week's vendor off with Cassie. She is currently just in the southwest, just south of the Air and Space Museum mission. She will, of course, though, move in a day or two. But this week she's got a Murakami Industries backpack that comes rolled with 8% health, 2% weapon damage and 7.5% critical hit damage. Also comes rolled with Efficient. Efficient is a really good talent to use, especially in the raids and if you are not using Unbreakable on the chest. Using an armor kit has a 50% chance to not consume the armor kit. The only requirement it has is that you have no other active talents affecting armor kits. That is Unbreakable. This talent will stop Unbreakable from working, so if you're running anything else, this is a really good talent to use on your bag. Swap Chain Smg as a named weapon. This is one of the best buys this week, simply because it has Unwavering rolled. Unwavering is one of them talents that turns up every now and again in the weekly project, asking you to donate a certain talent from a certain weapon. My RNG is awful, and I hardly ever come across this in normal gameplay, so I'm going to buy a few of these this week, just so I've got some in the stash ready for when that project turns up again in the future. It also got Stable and Greased, and it comes with Shattered Glass as its unique skin. The Virginian is here again this week, so if by chance you've not come across this yet and you've not bought it yet, now's your chance. It's an 1886 rifle, comes rolled with Boomerang, Extra and Overlap. It's the third or fourth time this has turned up, so I'm guessing that's why it comes rolled with Boomerang, because it just keeps turning up in the vendor. And yet again, it's got Gorilla as its unique skin. Enter the White House, and there's a couple of skill related items in here, but not much else. There's an Heraldry backpack with 617 skill power, so if that's an improvement on your skill power, if you've running that on your backpack, then pick one of these up. There's also a Wyvern Holster with 20% cooldown reduction, so if you want that, come and pick this up from in here. But other than that, let's go and have a look at the blueprint vendor, which is newly around here. I'm just getting used to it myself. All that's in there for me at the moment is the upgrade blueprint for the Nemesis. I finally got my Nemesis, so I will be buying this to upgrade it to Gear Score 500. But this is the area where you will find your blueprint for your weapons and your purple and blue skill mods. Pretty much any blueprint that's in the game will now be in here. We have moved on to the theatre, and in here there's an Heraldry backpack with a very nice armour roll of just over 19,000. There is also a Marksman Rifle with Optimist. Weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine, if you have got 5 or less offensive rolls. I prefer Ranger or a Marksman Rifle myself, but if Optimist is your thing, there's one in here. Travel to the campus and you will find a 511 chest piece with an armour roll of just under 20,000. There's also a Fenris Kneepads that, if this gear score was any better on this, they would be brilliant in themselves for PvE and especially for the raid. An armour roll of 6,900, hard hitting and patience as the talents. It's just a shame about the gear score on this one. Onto the Dark Zone vendors, and in DZ West there is a couple of decent rolls in here. There is a Richter and Kaiser holster that comes with 14% critical hit chance. There is also a Badger Tough mask with a health roll of 11.5%. In DZ South you'll find a Richter and Kaiser backpack with a pretty average health roll of 18,000. There is also some Jarl gloves, which has Devastating as a talent. Devastating, a good talent for upping your weapon damage, and it is also one of them talents that pops up every now and again on the weekly projects.
Deal.
And finally this week onto DZ East, and the only interesting piece here are these Murakami Industries gloves. They have Terminate as a talent. Depleting an enemy's armour grants 35% skill damage for 15 seconds. Kills refresh this. Really good talent to have on your gloves if you are running a skill build. So that's it this week. I will be back next week to show you what they have dragged from the skip. So I will see you then.